And my comment is the use of certain words and what they imply. When I hear warrior ethos, and I hear it a lot from you, Mr. Secretary, I'm concerned. All the soldiers in our family, all of whom fought and received medals for their combat service, call themselves soldiers. Marines are trained to kill. In terms of domestic policing, our police and our National Guard at the state level, carefully used, but also our state police are used in civil enforcement, and they are good. I don't need any reply. I just am concerned about what those words you often utter actually do in people's minds and change the language we have used since the founding of this republic. So that is a concern of mine. I wanted to go to the General and Chairman, if I could. We've heard a lot this morning about Defense Industrial Base. And this is something I ran for office on a long time ago.
However, when such terminology begins to migrate beyond its original context and into civilian domains, the meaning can shift in ways that affect how people view authority figures like police officers, the National Guard, and state law enforcement. In families with long histories of military service, the distinctions between different branches and roles are deeply ingrained. Soldiers, for example, are recognized for their discipline, strategic skill, and service, while Marines are known for their training that focuses heavily on combat and, when necessary, the act of killing in battle. These differences matter in the armed forces, but they become even more important when language from the battlefield is applied to those tasked with maintaining peace and order within our own communities. In civil society, law enforcement officers are not supposed to view their mission through the lens of warfare.
It's one of the reasons for the division in our society. So I am very interested in knowing what specifically and in which accounts, and I hope you can get this back to us within a week and a half, you are going to focus on in order to inject additional resources in the defense industrial base of this country. What will that look like? We are just successful now in helping steel to revive and some of our composite metals. 40 years ago, I wrote a title to the defense bill dealing with strategic metals. Nobody at Department of Defense cared, okay? So I'm interested in which accounts, if you could kindly get back to me on that, and when you say defense industrial base, budget-wise, in which account, what does that mean? All right, I don't expect you to answer it now. Can you tell me when you might get that information back to us?
Well, ma'am, you just said a week and a half, so I know the awesome humans behind me are scribbling madly to come back to that. Can I just make a quick comment? You know, I happen to be a lucky guy that served in the private sector for a while, and I ran a machine shop in Texas along with a metal finishing business. So when we talk about defense industrial base, I broaden that out to really the national industrial base. There are certain components that are made in the defense side, but as you articulate, ma'am, many others are made in the small machine shops out around this entire nation. When I talk about mobilizing our nation, I think of that national, not just defense industrial base. What do we have to do to create greater capacity all the way down the chain to include jobs at the local level for those people that build quality parts and deliver on time with shorter lead time and lower cost? And so
today, with rising global tensions and the need for rapid technological advancement in defense, the absence of a robust, well-supported industrial base has become a strategic liability. When the nation must rely on foreign suppliers for critical materials or components, it risks supply chain disruptions, higher costs, and potential compromises in quality or security. Reviving the defense industrial base is not simply about military readiness. It is about restoring a national capability to innovate, produce, and deliver at scale when crises demand it. This requires targeted investments in key areas, from modernizing outdated facilities to supporting small and medium-sized manufacturers that form the supply chain's foundation. Many of these businesses operate in small towns and rural areas, where even modest investments can have outsized impacts on both local employment and national preparedness. Moreover, rebuilding the industrial base is an opportunity to integrate cutting-edge manufacturing methods such as advanced robotics, 3D printing, and automation, which can improve efficiency and reduce costs while maintaining the highest quality standards.
And so I have great empathy for what you're talking about, and we'll get back to you just as soon as we can.
Yes, and General and Secretary, going back to the drone attack in Ukraine, a country that was invaded by the Russian dictatorship, starting in 2014. They've been at war for a decade, more than a decade. What they've done with drones is astounding. It's going to change warfare. One of my questions is, what are you doing to establish relations with Ukraine and not turn your back on them as an administration and help them win, help liberty win? This has implications way beyond the boundaries of Ukraine. Russia's got 11 time zones. I mean, this is the most important test of liberty for our NATO alliance in my lifetime, and we better help win. And that involves moving forward faster on drone technology. I'm very worried about our air bases where we have secure assets. Mr. Secretary, can we defend them today if they were to have a similar attack?
Since Russia's initial invasion in 2014 and the full-scale escalation in recent years, Ukraine has faced a much larger and better-equipped military force. Yet, through ingenuity and adaptability, they have managed to level parts of the playing field by integrating drones into nearly every aspect of their defense strategy. These drones have been used for reconnaissance, targeting, and even direct strikes, allowing Ukrainian forces to monitor enemy movements, gather vital intelligence in real time, and deliver precision attacks without risking as many soldiers' lives. The efficiency, speed, and versatility of drone operations have given Ukraine a way to counteract Russia's numerical and technological advantages, showing the world that smaller nations can still mount a strong defense when equipped with the right tools and strategies. This shift has caught the attention of military planners worldwide, as it highlights the need for rapid adaptation to new forms of warfare. For the United States and its allies, Ukraine's example is both a lesson and a warning. Failure to invest in and accelerate drone technology could leave us vulnerable in future conflicts. Beyond its tactical benefits, Ukraine's fight is also a fight for liberty and the preservation of democratic values against authoritarian aggression. The stakes extend far beyond Eastern Europe. A Ukrainian victory would send a powerful message to other would-be aggressors that the free world stands united and prepared to defend its principles, while a failure to support Ukraine could embolden hostile powers and weaken the NATO alliance. For the U.S., this means not only continuing to supply Ukraine with advanced equipment, but also ensuring that our own forces are ready to defend against similar threats, especially when it comes to safeguarding critical infrastructure like air bases. The question of whether we could defend our most valuable assets against a coordinated drone assault is a pressing one, and it demands urgent action in both policy and technology development. Strengthening defenses against such attacks requires more than just better detection systems. It calls for a complete rethinking of base security, integrating counter, drone measures, rapid response teams, and layered defense systems capable of neutralizing threats before they can cause damage.
We're certainly very focused on that, ma'am. And we're learning every day from Ukraine. I think we would need to clarify what win means. This president is committed to peace. He's committed to stopping the killing. And he was not in office when it started in 2014. There were no additional incursions in his first term. And then under the previous administration, Vladimir Putin sought to take Ukraine. We're committed. This administration is committed to peace, to stopping the killing, and we think that serves
Did you just
American
leave
interests.
Ukraine, Mr. Secretary? Did you just leave Ukraine?
Young lady's time's expired, but if you can get
I did
back
not leave Ukraine.
to us on that.
No,
Have you visited Ukraine?
No, ma'am.
My first trip
No.
there, sir, was 1973. I yield back.
Has expired. Mr. Carter, you're recognized for 5 minutes.
For your service to our country. We're very proud of you. I'm fully supportive of the Army's outgoing modernization efforts and the recent Army Transformation Initiative that combine the Army's Future Command with TRADOC to become the Transformational and Training Command. How are you